God, we had fun last week. But anyway, you are back. It's good to see you.
Good to be back. A lot of footy talk, but I just want to congratulate the Melbourne Vixens on their premiership last night in the Super Netball. So well done.
Your family went?
They did. They had a great time.
Terrific stuff. And, of course, you weren't here last week because Jude chalked up his 50th
game, yes.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, good to see you, Nathan.
Yeah.
And Damo's here. As per you never have a day off.
I don't have a day off, TJ. And in my time on this show, I've never seen one panel member spend so much time in hushed conversations and locked-in meetings with producers and people who work for this show than that man, two down from me,
Llordo.
Matthew Lloyd, today. We haven't seen you for 2 hours in the lead-up to this.
No. And I'm talking a big game. I reckon I've got two big kahunas coming. In the
Hang on. Sorry, Matthew Lloyd reckons he's got two big kahunas.
Two big whales coming both off the top shortly and in what caught my eye. And I wouldn't laugh because they're both aimed at one man down the end.
I've got two big kahunas.
He's got two big kahunas.
That soundbite's going to travel a lot.
And another
Morning TV, Llordo. You can't talk like that.
Anyway, Rory's here too, of course. But you sorry, I know that was
Thanks. Good welcome. Yeah, welcome. I was going to pump you up and say thanks for the pen you made me and put a bit of deer antler in there.
Oh,
but
I did make one for you.
Made a pen. I thought you might
promised one of them about 10 years ago. I haven't got one yet.
Well,
Strange colour.
when you learn to write nicely about people, I'll make you a pen.
I thought you might have put a bit of kangaroo fur in there or something just for Ranger Rory, but no, a bit of deer antler in there instead. So well done, mate.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, don't tell everyone I shot a deer for it. But anyway, no. Well, you said, oh, Eddie Maguire's got a nice pen. Everyone's got a nice pen except me, so I made you one.
No, it is a nice pen.
Yeah, good. All
Brilliant.
Right, don't bang it too hard, mate. It might come apart. Now, Lord, I remember last week when we had so much fun. Remember last week when you were part of Essendon's 2000 reunion and you were miffed because when Gerard Whateley on Fox Footy was going through all the players, you were overlooked along with
Joe Mercedes.
Yeah, who texted and he wasn't happy either. So I rang Gerard and I said, Gerard, you need to explain yourself. So, courtesy of Fox Footy and SEN, here is the explanation from the doyen, Gerard Whateley.
Who did they say I forgot? Matthew Lloyd. Well, this was Essendon's email supplied on the night. Notable attendees from the 2000 Premiership attending the game. Blake Caracella, Darren Buick, Chris Heffernan, Adam Ramanauskas, Dean Solomon, Dustin Fletcher, James Hird, Jason Johnson, Mark Johnson, Justin Blumfield, Mark McCurry, Sean McVeigh and Stephen Alessio. You'd have thought the club would know, wouldn't you? Are you sure Lloyd played in that premiership? Just check AFL tables for us.
So Essendon didn't put you on the show.
Very good. I like that. Well done, Gerard. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I've had a go.
Why wouldn't they put you on there all the time?
Yeah, have you had a falling out?
You've been cooking them a fair bit.
Who's at the club?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, maybe because I had to work on the night. Maybe that's what could have happened. But I've got bigger things I want to move on to, TJ. You know how in the Herald Sun you have the kiss of death? Yep. I'm now labelling you the kiss of chomp. Because, because you are on a roll and you can curse the best of them. Yeah. And we're going to start back in 2018, the kiss of chomp.
No.
Great pity about Collingwood losing to West Coast is that West Coast is now very well placed to go through to the grand final. And Neil, I've got to say, I think it would be a waste of a spot in the grand final if they get there.
And they went on won the flag. Right, so they went on won the flag against Collingwood. And then last year, when I said that I think Collingwood could miss the 8, this is what you had to say. It's a 50-50 whether they make it, TJ.
Gee, well, if they don't, I will wash windows on Punt Road for 2 hours.
Will you?
And they missed the 8. And now we're going to fast forward to 2025. And I reckon you mozzed Collingwood when you said this on 3AW.
Collingwood, for mine, and I'm not saying this as a Collingwood supporter because I can be unbiased, but I think they're head and shoulders above the rest at the moment. Collingwood just tick just about every box at the moment.
At the moment.
And haven't they come back to the field, TJ, since you said that?
Well,
they are in free fall, so I blame the kiss of chomp.
Well, I did twice. I said at the moment, and I still believe they are the team to beat for the premiership.
Okay.
Just don't say anything about the Crows, please. Kiss of chomp.
Oh, I don't need to, mate. You don't shut up about it for 2 hours.
You're not great with your kisses, are you?
Oh, you're still here.
OK, let's have a look at the results because there were plenty of good ones and plenty of bad ones. Western Bulldogs, 88 points, shellacking. The Crows got the job done. It was a topsy-turvy game. Melbourne by 83, Gold Coast by 84. So 88, 83 and 84, big wins. Sydney by 14 and the Brisbane Lions last night in the big one by 27.
And we do have a new ladder leader officially. The Crows ahead of Collingwood with a sizable boost there on percentage over the Pies. And the Pies' remaining matches, Hawthorn, Adelaide and Melbourne. That will determine their fate, obviously. Gold Coast, with the game up his sleeve, could still finish top four. Needs to retrieve a 9% deficit against Geelong there. We go down the line. Hawthorn, vulnerable now. Games against Collingwood, Melbourne and Brisbane Lions. Fremantle playing Carlton today, Browny. But as we flip the page, still in contention quite clearly and are going to continue to push for a spot other Western Bulldogs.
It'd be a travesty if they don't make it, the Western Bulldogs.
Well, who doesn't make it if they do?
I don't know at the moment, Tony. There's a lot to be played out, but the Western Bulldogs, I think they got the mix right the other night. But let's talk about the Brisbane Lions the night before. They were brilliant against Collingwood. Logan Morris, outstanding. 6 goals straight. I know he's kicked a couple of big bags this year, 5s and 5s, but this was an announcement game for him against one of the best defences in the competition. He didn't miss. 6 goals straight. They moved the ball off the line really well. We'll get into their ball movement a bit later, but the Brisbane Lions, 27 points. Their best is the best in the AFL.
Llordo, as we look at what they did last night, and Logan Morris specifically, he's just turned 20 years of age, this guy. He's now got 40 goals for the season. The 6 goals last night followed 5 that he kicked earlier in the season against GWS and Geelong. I think we're witnessing something pretty special here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Damo. It doesn't happen very often that you take a player around the 30s mark in the draft and in their second year, he is the #1 forward in probably the best side in it. So he's a premiership player already. And as I said, I think his football smarts, his ability to kick straight, he knows how to time his leads really well. Doesn't seem flustered in the big moment. Amazing what they've done, and it's testament to their development of players.
Brisbane is the best side at the moment.
Yes.
More so than Adelaide.
If I had to back, I love what Adelaide's doing, but if you had to back someone in right now, I'd say it's Brisbane. Yeah.
There's a reason Logan Morris got so much of the footy and kicked 6 goals because Brisbane have the deepest midfield in the competition. They bullied Collingwood's midfield last night. Their contested numbers were off the charts. I think they ended up about +19. Their clearance work was exceptional and it was their use by hands and feet. They were cleaner than Collingwood. In a dewy night, they just made that ball look dry. They were hitting bodies. They transitioned that ball with ease and they broke through Collingwood's pressure, which is what you need to do against good sides. And I'll show you what Hawthorn did to Adelaide early in the game. But that's just a seasoned body in Lachie Neale. They're using his hands to get through. But there's no deeper midfield, Damo, than Brisbane.
Yeah, and the fact that, I mean, even in that passage of play there, you've got a guy, Will Ashcroft, who's won an Norm Smith medal inside the 3 seasons he's played, and his brother has played every game this year as a midfielder, or as a wing midfielder. But, yeah, Levi, they can just keep adding to it, can't they? And Marshall last night looked at home on an AFL venue.
Absolutely.
You need elite kicks to get cut through, and I think Hugh McCluggage is just at the top of the tree. I think he could be the best kick in the AFL, if not the best decision maker in the AFL. So let's talk about Hugh McCluggage. Gets the footy here. Now, most players right here are going, what do I do? I'm just going to bomb it in long. But he holds the ball for that extra second and a half and then makes the right decision. There's not many AFL players that are doing that right now. Most of those bomb it to the goal square. Again, he does it with his hands as well. Have a look at this. This is lightning to put a player into a better position. Most players would fumble that or get tackled, but Hugh McCluggage, again, he gets this football here up against the boundary line. It doesn't spin that well, but I tell you what, it went where it was meant to go. Unbelievable. Another kick from Hugh McCluggage. This one here, he kicks on his left. Now, a lot of players would give this handball, but they're going to be faced with the same Collingwood player as Hugh McCluggage is. He takes it upon himself to take the footy, takes it on himself to kick it with his left and make the kick work down the line. So if you had a handball that, it's just going straight back. And this one, this might seem like a lucky kick, but he looks up and he has a look at who's coming at him, and this is a genuine kick inside forward 50 to a leading target there in Hipwood. He's the best kick in the comp at the moment.
The Pies, as we know, have lost 3 of their past 4 games now. Gold Coast, Fremantle and last night against Brisbane. And what the Lions did, Craig McRae, coach of Collingwood, conceded last night, changed the way they intended to play the game.
Collingwood supporter at home, you'd think, geez, we played probably as bad as we played since round 0. That's real. But that would be disrespecting Brisbane's hunt and pressure, and we invited pressure by handballing way too much. I actually sent the runner out 3 times to say, can we kick the ball? You could hear even the supporters going, can you kick it? And they Bronx cheered us when we kicked the ball. So you invite pressure. So those things we can improve. But no, I've got great belief in this team.
All right. So have you got great belief in this team?
I still do, but I don't see them as... I have them behind Brisbane. I have them behind Adelaide. In terms of the weapons, I worry about the leg speed, but I also worry about the defence of Collingwood. I don't want to go into a final series with Charlie Dean, and I'm concerned about Darcy Moore. So 3 weeks ago, we saw this from the Fremantle Dockers late in the game, and this is Darcy Moore. So I'll challenge Darcy. He had a pretty solid year, but when you lose momentum, you've got to tighten up. And we've been talking about Darcy for a long, long period of time. That does he change? And they'll say we've got a system. We've got a system, but you know when you've got to get tighter when the ball's coming. And Nath just showed this one again. I see a bit, it's a team defence, but you've got to adjust. So part of it's adjusting to where the game's at, whether you're on top or whether you're not. So again, this is Darcy Moore. So when the ball's coming in thick and fast, you've got to tighten up arm across. That's what I love about Sam Taylor and defenders like that. And then you've got the Charlie Dean issue. So Frampton hasn't been around, and then you've got Charlie Dean and Darcy Moore who are getting beaten in situations like this where good defenders or informed defenders aren't doing that. So this one here, nervous, giving away free kicks. So I have got concerns around their defence. Jeremy Howe is back next week, who is huge for Collingwood. So they need him to stand up through this final series. And again, these two just should have punched that and spoiled it.
Does it come off the back of their lack of pressure around Brisbane's midfield?
Yeah, normally their pressure is really strong, though, Collingwood. So I think that's the best part of their game. Collingwood is their pressure.
I think we're going to get a better gauge as just to where Collingwood's at on Thursday night. MCG, Hawthorn, right?
Yeah.
A side fighting for their September survival. Then they've got Adelaide, which will be the ultimate test, and then Melbourne to round things off. So we're going to find out probably Thursday night.
And TJ, it's about finishing second too. Like if they can't finish top or second, because they're either going to Brisbane or they're going to Adelaide if you can't get top two. So that's where it's critical that they win their last 3 games.
And you mentioned Hawthorn, TJ, in this particular game. They lost, obviously, to Adelaide Crows. And I feel they've got a lot of big questions that they'll be asking themselves internally over what happened to Will Day in that particular game. It was his second match back from a serious foot injury. He was last seen on round 3, and that was his 4th game of the year. Then not seen again until round 20, which was last week against Carlton, and then didn't see the game out. And the club has subsequently diagnosed and made public the announcements around that right foot being a navicular issue. He is out for the season. It's their best player on the list, I feel, Brownie, and someone who they did bring back into the fold in round 20. Now, again, I'm not questioning medical departments, but given that is the problem that he had previously dealt with, given that he is an elite athlete and has missed a lot of football with various amounts of injuries.
What's that statement say, mate?
He's just going to be missing the remainder of the year with a stress injury in his foot, which it was previously.
Well, he would have been 100%. He would have been 100% to play. So they would have ticked all the boxes. He would have done the training, and it's just unlucky. Some players do get injured. Will Day gets injured a lot.
It's the same complaint, Brownie, that he missed a lot of footy with.
Yeah, but there's a lot of players who have that same complaint in that same injury, and they come back and they get injured again. So, look, it is a reoccurring injury, and I don't think you could blame the Hawthorn medical department.
I'm saying they're asking questions, though. They'll be asking questions.
I'm talking to Damien.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I don't think you need to jump in.
No, well, mate, you're a part-timer, but he said that it's not a medical issue.
Put your manners back in your mouth for a minute. I'm talking to Damo.
Yeah, and he said he's not having a go at the medical staff.
You don't need to speak for Damo. I'm having a conversation with him.
Go on, Damo.
Well, they'll be asking questions, Brownie. I mean, this guy has missed a lot of footy, and navicular is a word you don't like having attached to any form of injury. And given that they've already got Josh Weddle out as well, I think they'll be ultra cautious now on the back injury that he's got. Now, he was ticked off last week to continue the next phase of his training, but I know the way footy clubs work, Brownie, and this is going to be a major, I think, review inside their operation.
Can they win the flag without him?
I would doubt it, given that they ultimately fell short last year without him for other reasons. It was a shoulder last year that he was missing in the finals for.
Didn't he get trodden on during that game?
The talk is that there was a try.
And that may have flared it up.
Yeah. Well, and his whole body, unfortunately for him, his whole body was sort of full body cramps throughout this game because probably it's his second game back. But I worry about Hawthorn. I've been worried about their midfield for about 4, 5, 6 weeks against the best midfields. They were awesome in the first quarter. Lloyd Meek got beaten up after that by Riley O'Brien, and then I thought the class of Rankin and Dawson came to the fore. This is the goal kickers. So they're not getting enough midfield goals, and you're going into hopefully a final series with Chol, who doesn't know if he's in their best team. You've got Mitch Lewis, who's been back for 2 or 3 weeks, who I'm not sure should be playing, and they've got Cal Shadir, who got subbed out. So it's not the most confident way to go in.
They need Chol in there because he needs to play that second ruck role.
So Hawthorn aside, tell us about the Crows, because they're an awesome-looking outfit.
They are, TJ. The last quarter, good response from them. They were well beaten in the first quarter. Hawthorn got it in really fast, and it sort of made them not get their intercept marking game going with Worrell and Keane and these types of guys. But once the midfield of Adelaide got on top, geez, they're destructive, Brownie.
He bounced back Worrell, didn't he? He was out of sorts in the first quarter. Gunston was all over him, but I thought his next 3 quarters were exceptional.
Is he one of those ones, Damo? I'll put this to you: is it not? They'll make him wait. I'd love to see if Worrell would be put in the All-Australian team this year, but do they make him wait and have to do another 12 months?
It's a great question because to me, it's always should be in isolation of the year in question, and I think to answer your question, he deserves to be in. But there's a conversation being had around Nick Foster now, who's never been in, and I know they don't play a like for like, but there may be consideration given to him to reward him for previous seasons.
Yeah, and I love the Crows' games, their response, but I'm going to show you how the Hawks came in with a clear game plan and stunned the Crows in that first quarter. It came off the back of the way they wanted to move the ball. They never wanted to go slow off turnovers, as you can see here off half-back. They wanted to go quick. They wanted to use their hands, they wanted to use their numbers, and to not bring Worrell and Keane into the game. They wanted to get these types of looks where they could access, and the Crows still get a 3v2 there. But it's a follow-up. They will then allow their pressure to come and their backs are set up behind this. This is where Sicily can take an intercept mark, which what Hawthorn did so well across the game. The other part I love from Hawthorn, it was a clear plan, was their contest work. That's where they wanted to make sure they were strong in the contest, they used their hands, they wanted to break tackles, play big boy footy. This is what finals footy is, and this is what the best teams do. I saw it from Brisbane last night, breaking tackles from Collingwood, and then you get these sort of entries, and good luck stopping that if you're Mark Keane or Josh Worrell. Hawthorn really wanted to expose, I think, Adelaide Crows back 6, who rely on this ball going long. If that ball goes long right now, you've got Riley O'Brien coming in, you've got Nick Murray will come and send that ball about 6 rows back. But they use their hands, and then again, and they're running waves and in numbers. This is the type of footy you need to play against the best teams. You need to not go into your shell. You need to be brave, access this part of the ground, because that's where the damage can be done. But on the flip side too, Llordo, it's where your backs can set up. Sicily marks this, re-enters, and they get an easy goal. So Hawks' game plan clearly stacks up. She's got to be able to do it for longer. The Crows just great response after quarter time.
All right, and Jack Ginnivan was at his antagonistic best there also, and Damo's going to talk about that in agenda a little later on. Now, we wouldn't normally say that we pre-record the handball, but we did have to pre-record the handball this morning, right? And I need to give you a heads up without giving too much away.
You feel good about this?
I feel very, very good about this, Nathan, because this is must-see TV today when it comes to Louis' handball a little later on with Matt Kennedy and Jai Cully. Have you seen anything like it?
Yeah, I have, when you miss the board. So if that paints the picture, somebody misses the board.
Right, OK.
I thought you were going to talk about my my armour I had on downstairs after last week.
Yeah, well, you got a real thing about, like whether it be kangaroos or yourself.
Not about you, mate.
Well, it almost was.
Yeah.
Hey, now, Jai Cully is up against Matt Kennedy in the handball. Jai Cully, what a night for him it was, or a day for him yesterday. He actually chalked up his first win ever as an AFL player, but overall Melbourne needed this.
He took a couple of nice marks too, Jai Cully. We'll speak to him a little bit later, but they kicked some easy goals, the Demons, in the second half, and the West Coast Eagles are nowhere at the moment. 15 goals in that second half, 10 of those came in the third quarter, and it was something that Melbourne needed. They've had a really tough season, and to beat up on the West Coast Eagles, it'll make themselves feel good, but West Coast weren't anywhere near it yesterday.
No, they weren't, Brownie. They've only been near it once this season when they beat St Kilda, and that is one of the great mysteries of the year. And Andrew McQualter, their coach, hasn't really got too many answers for where they're now at.
Clearly, at the moment, the gap between our best and our worst is far too great, and we can't handle it when teams have momentum against us and the scoreboard just flows. We're not tough enough at all as a football club, as a football team at the moment. So. That's got nothing to do with age. That's something that we just can't accept.
Hope he has good people around him, because this is the toughest initiation to a senior coaching job I can think of. He's down there with the worst sides the game has ever seen. No No team's ever not won a game, have they, in the last, I don't know, time I've been following footy, 50, 60, 70 years. So he's won one game.
The comparisons are, Llordo, as you look at what's coming up for them, the remaining, and they're not going to win those games, even against the Sydney Swans, I wouldn't have thought. But, yeah, the comparisons are 2013 GWS, which is their second season of AFL, one win only for the year, and also Fitzroy, even in its last season of AFL life, as it was in 1996, had one win.
So the last team to go through a season without a win, we should have done this research, I suppose, but would have been Fitzroy in the 60s, I reckon.
Yeah.
They need to recruit some leaders too. He needs help on field, and some of their leaders like Duggan and Jack Graham, they're probably the two leaders I see that are trying to shoulder a big load. Baker, but they need to recruit some senior leaders.
The Sydney Swans held off Essendon. You had a look at that one, Nathan?
I did, and they were really good. So both sides were okay. The Bombers came back late, but I want to talk about Brodie Grundy, and he has been building. He's had a really good 10-week patch, and to the point where he could be the All-Australian ruckman. I think he's been their best player all year. He's been aggressive, back to his aggressive best. I think we've questioned Brodie Grundy in the past when he hasn't been this aggressive beast, but 39 disposals. He's a player at the top of his game at the moment. For a ruckman to have 39 is outstanding, but I feel like he could be the All-Australian ruckman. Darcy Cameron's in there. I think Riley O'Brien's been very good at Adelaide, but I think Brodie Grundy might pip them.
I'd love to know what Essendon have up their sleeve if the talk is that Draper's leaving for the Brisbane Lions. Like poor Toddy Goldstein, what he's had to do this year, you wouldn't think he'll be playing next year.
And Nick Bryan coming off an ACL.
Yeah, so you can't be just going in with Nick Bryan. So, you'd hope they've got some players coming in.
Is Brodie Grundy a chance to win a Brownlow or be close in contention? No, haven't won enough games.
I haven't won enough games, and I think Nick Dacos is probably a couple of games clear at the moment.
There's been problems with the SCG turf, TJ, even prior to yesterday. Previously it was players slipping over, and yesterday it was actually just a hole in the ground that somehow was allowed to be in play until they realised that in the first quarter and the game and play had to be stopped while they went and filled it up with a bit of sand. And
replace your divots, Damo.
Replace your divots, and it's staggering it can happen, Brownie, but again, it's not the first time there's been an issue with that part of that particular ground at the SCG. We saw earlier in the season against Port Adelaide, players were slipping over, and that prompted Chris Davies of the Port team to complain to the AFL and the venue management of the group. And then this was probably the worst one, I think, Llordo, later on in that, when Bailey Williams just had a really couple of nervous moments where both ankles and knees and everything seemed to go in the once there, just simply because of the surface. It has been an issue.
What have they had on there other than football?
There was a concert pre-season, which we've discussed, Andrea Bocelli.
And it's been bucketing with rain there non-stop, so they've copped it.
Alrighty, what caught my eye not too far away, Llordo's still having private conversations with producers, Damo, even while we've been doing analysis.
Well, something we put a line through something, so something didn't come through for him then, but he's got more caught my eye coming up.
Can we just get to it? Or?
No, we want to talk about the... I really don't want to get to it. I'm sensing doom and gloom here. Gold Coast Suns, this was... I don't want to say it was like a training run, but if you look at the scoreboard, it was.
Yeah, well, Richmond actually started the game okay. They just couldn't kick straight or couldn't hit the scoreboard, but I thought the Suns were stingy in defence. They just didn't let up any goals. They were ruthless in defence, and then this game broke open for them in the second half, where they kicked 9 goals 6 to 2 goals 6, and they finished Big Boy Month, Damo, in good shape, and they're setting themselves up for possibly a run at top 4.
Yeah, they do. As we said before, Rory, the 9 percentage points they've got between themselves and the Cats, that's going to be something they're going to need to somehow work through if they want to finish top 4, but they're doing everything right. Now, there was another umpire contact moment from this game. Toby Nankervis and Gerard Witt's in the ruck there, and just see that Nankervis doesn't even get a chance to run at the ball. I'll let the matching office work out what it wants to do there with this situation, but ultimately, Brownie, I feel it's another example and another exhibit that the bounce just comes out of the game.
There's no sanction there.
I wouldn't have thought so, but again, it's part of the other wider conversation around the actual bounce and the future of the bounce in the game.
What about the Western Bulldogs? I think everyone was looking forward to this match on Thursday night up against Giants.
They're the highest scoring team in the comp by far now, the Western Bulldogs, so that's not their problem. It's just, can they stand up against the big boys in defence? We know that. Midfield is off the charts, forward line off the charts. It's just in defence. So
tell you what, you don't want to play them if they finish 8th. No, you do not want to play the Western Bulldogs.
Nothing to lose, all out attack. Norton, career best form. Darcy, the hottest man in town. Bontempelli, just destructive. So, yeah, as I said, I hope they get there with the football they can play, and good that they've taken a scalp.
It's exciting. The way they attack GWS, especially GWS coming out of their defensive half, that's where they score heavily. They were ruthless with their pressure up forward, the Dogs.
All righty, massive show coming up. Media-ocre is back today. Who are we lining up? Who are you lining up?
Everybody. There's a lot of people on there.
You have taken one or two out, have you?
There was someone in there twice, so I took them out just to have them in once.
Right, OK.
Take what it is. It's just a bit of fun, you know? Just a bit of fun.
Fitzroy, by the way, was the last team to go through winless in 1964. Deep dive, who are we looking at today without giving it away? Like,
Just banged them from 50 or 60 countless times, and one of the most loved figures in the club that you love, TJ. So,
wow. Well, that narrows it down
history
to about
Anthony Rocker.
people.
Yeah, not Anthony, but one who's done it all for that club.
Right, OK, and continues to possibly. All right, that's all coming up a little later on. Hey, just before we get to what caught my eye, I'm trying to delay this for as long as possible. Just want to give a shout out to a guy that big fan of the show, Victor, who is in the Austin Hospital at the moment. So, Victor, I know it hasn't been a great week for you, and you've got pretty challenging weeks ahead. But from all of us here, we just want to wish you all the very best, and we're thinking of you, as indeed your family are as well. So, on that note, cheer up, Victor, because I don't think anyone else on this panel will be for the next few minutes. It is What Caught My Eye, and I might kick us off. I was watching Footy Classified through the week, Llordo, and just noticed you had a little microphone malfunction here. And young Nick, the audio operator, who will hate this, had to come in there and just do a little bit of repair on the run there, and you had the microphone there. And I could just see, I was watching at home, and I could just see Llordo. Suddenly he's got that microphone in his hand, he's thinking, oh, it's not long now before the finals come and all those jobs start rolling. Right, and we've got evidence of that with you and that microphone that's never quite out of your hands. And whilst we know it's great news for you, maybe not so much for the people in the audience. But anyway, so if you're looking for a good night's sleep, keep your eye out for where Llordo's performing next. Damo.
TJ, I was driving home last Sunday after the Sunday Footy Show, tuned into Triple M to listen to the boys there, and I heard Browny. Now, surprised for a number of reasons, but one, for him daring to have a go at a colleague at Triple M for having some time off.
Our boss has just sent through the roster for next week. And it says Jack Heverin is on holidays next week. Now, it's only a 6-month season. Jack's going pretty well. Have you taken a holiday this year, Steve?
No.
Have you taken a holiday?
I haven't.
Have you taken a holiday?
No, I have not.
Jack Heverin on a Thursday night taking a holiday. It's a little bit getting ahead of himself.
Now, I was shocked for a number of reasons, TJ. Primarily two reasons. Yeah, I was. Because you actually missed that morning Sunday Footy Show. For starters, here's the evidence of that. That was 2 hours earlier. You couldn't be bothered with us, and Isaac Smith beautifully... And 4 weeks ago, you've got Isaac to fill in for you again. So you're having time off, part-time, as you said. Now, during that go at Jack Heverin, you, Browny, 4 weeks ago, dared go glamping. You dared to go glamping when you took some time off. Have a look at this. Man of the land, TJ. Look at the man of the land and his designer dog.
Holiday.
I'm a country man. I can make a fire. I can use an axe. I'm a country man.
Look like Thor.
You got there.
Is that the same axe they use for Future Stars?
No, that was Boomer.
I was tuning into the cricket the other night and I saw John Hastings bowl possibly one of the worst overs you've ever seen in cricket history. I think he had 18 balls in this over. 5 were legal. It was horrendous. Yeah, it was no good. But I was sitting there watching and I'm like, I had a sense of deja vu. I'm like, where have I seen this before? It was our man Nath down in Tasmania, following a couple of pies. Look at this one, first wide, it's no ball. Next one, another wide. Can't even get the bat on it. And another wide, and it got to the point where the crowd was just unhappy too. Even they started chirping in with some commentary there. But look, mate, at least I kept mine on the pitch when I was bowling to Travis Head. At least I had him in the zone.
Is that it?
It's a bit of self-insertion going on down there today, isn't it?
It is. I tell you what, I found out, and it surprised me, that Damo is a fan of Snoop Dogg.
Fair dinkum. I've actually got a bit of a, this might surprise people, soft spot for Snoop from way back.
You used to rip a few cones back in the day.
Damo, surely you're not a fan of Snoop Dogg. Surely you're not. Tell me you're a fan of Snoop Dogg.
Want to sing along?
Have a look at
the smoke coming in.
Now, I'm going to show you a few photos. Surely you weren't a fan of Snoop Dogg back in the day. It was more serial killer stuff that you were a fan of. You can't tell me that you used to pack a few, Damo.
Yeah, that's a Snoop, man.
What's the smoke for?
Come on, mate.
What's the smoke for?
Snoop liked to have a few.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, I got it now.
Yeah.
Hey, now I've been sitting in this.
Bring it home, Llordo.
Sometimes
bring it home, Llordo.
things fall in your lap and you say thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we've all had some shameless plugs around here. You and I are probably the most ones. But I've never seen a more shameless plug in my life that fell in my lap that you did in March. And I'll get to the reason it's only been uncovered now. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Tony Jones, and like so many other people, these summer months really motivate me to get outside and indulge in all those activities that the winter months kept me from doing. And bike riding is top of my list. And when it comes to cycling, I became a convert about 6 years ago to the Rylu e-bikes. Quite frankly, there's nothing better around.
Fortunately, my Rylu Bolt takes the hassle out of those commutes, and I find that when I do arrive at work, I'm free of the stress caused by traffic jams. And there's been a definite improvement to my fitness levels, and not to mention the savings on fuel and tolls. Back at the beach, rarely a ride goes by where Archie, our cavoodle, isn't in tow. Literally in tow. And thanks to the Rylu Bolt, it's no sweat.
Well, I became a convert years ago. My wife has only just recently discovered the joys of cycling, and her go-to Rylu is the Onyx.
So you not only got one for yourself, you got one for your wife as well.
And
right?
Archie.
And Archie.
As well.
Archie
And
wants to
talk
jump out.
about your fitness. Like, you came out charging and did the Tony Barber entrance last week.
Yeah.
You were huffing and puffing up there trying to read the first question. So your fitness has not improved. And we track these things. They track how it's gone. So after you did that promotion, actually got 6 likes. And that's
That's 3 cents.
Hang on. We're more...
He sent it to Archie's account.
we're more Facebook.
So it's your family members, 6 likes, and that was it. So,
Do you have a percentage of the company? Is this a new investment thing?
No, I don't have a percentage of the company. I do it because I firmly believe that Rylu, of which I am an ambassador, does great things for mental health and fitness. And yeah, you should.
Are the quads firming up? You feel the quads strengthening up now?
What about the cankles? What about another cashy you did? Well, are we still not allowed to talk about that?
No, I'm not allowed to talk about that one.
Yeah. Why not?
It was in between news crosses.
News crosses.
and lunch today?
And wasn't disclosed.
Wasn't disclosed, so no one knew that he was getting paid.
All right, OK, we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show, and if you are looking to improve your fitness and your mental health, then get yourself a Rylu e-bike.
Not allowed to watch the show that week?
Sorry? What do you... Nathan? Mate, I reckon we're just about teetering at the minute, you and I, so we'll take a break. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Josh Dunkley joins us live right after this. You are watching the Sunday Footy Show. Great to have your company as we catch our breath from that brutal what caught my eye, by the way. Hey, what about talk about catching your breath? The MCG yesterday, a crowd of 82,000 certainly got their money's worth, as did those at home got their money's worth because it wasn't on free-to-air. Well done. All right, it was a terrific win by the Brisbane Lions. Collingwood, a little bit of work to do.
TJ, a 7-3 second half by the Brisbane Lions. A commanding performance after a bitterly disappointing one the week before where they were belted by the Gold Coast Suns. And I call him the heartbeat of the Brisbane Lions. It's Josh Dunkley. I just love what he does for that football club. His 2-0 run takes out the opposition's best and also had 31 disposals himself last night. Josh, congratulations on a massive win last night at the MCG.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
So, Josh, where did you see the game turn after half-time, where you're up by a point at half-time? But, you know, to me, I know they had some runs at it, but I thought it was pretty dynamic and convincing in the end. But where did you see the game turn?
Yeah, I think, you know, with the contest in the first quarter, we probably were on top in there. And then in that second quarter, we let them back in the game with a bit of that contested ball and clearance work around the stoppages. So, you know, for us to be able to, you know, wrestle that back after half-time and get the ball moving forward, I think it actually turned out a little bit slippery towards the end of the game. So to, you know, get that territory was important for us and felt like we could put them under the pressure.
And the speed of ball movement from you guys and lowering your eyes inside 50 to guys like Logan Morris and Smith, like what was the focus? Is that a focus, you know, against Collingwood to try and get speed on them? Because to me, they do have a bit of a one-pace midfield aside from Nick Dacos.
Yeah, they're so good at, you know, attacking play, and I feel like we've in the past probably learned that lesson that if you sort of fall into their trap and their web, their defensive web almost, they're hard to get through. So you've got to actually go at them with the ball, and I think we managed to do that in the second half, and yeah, got some really good looks in front of goal.
Hey Josh, we spoke last night after the game about the mindset you guys had when Collingwood wanted to challenge you. You guys wanted to not go back and play safe. You still wanted to attack the game, and I reckon it was after that Bobby Hill goal, you guys just attacked the game, put the foot down and went another level.
Yeah, I mean, it's lessons that we've learned against the Pies in the past, and, you know, they've honestly had the wood over us the last few times. So, you know, we thought that if we continue to go at them with our play and, you know, not go into your shell, because it's hard in front of 82,000 Collingwood supporters. I mean, we had a fair few supporters there ourselves, but when they're up and about their crowd, it's hard to really sort of, you know, I guess take a breath and let the game unfold and then, you know, choose the right options as well. And I thought we did that really well last night in front of a packed house.
Josh, are we watching the emergence in his second season of a very special talent in Logan Morris? 6 goals last night, 5 against GWS, 5 against Geelong, 40 for the year, and he's only just turned 20.
Yeah, he's a special player, Moz. I mean, I've been very fortunate to be close with him, and yeah, the work that he does behind the scenes is just incredible, and doesn't need the praise that he gets, but he does love it deep down. He's a really good man from Werribee, and he's from a great family as well. So it's great to see him get some reward for all the hard work that he's putting in.
Josh, can I ask you, how do you go from an 11-goal loss the week before to a performance like that last night? And Fags had said, leading into the Gold Coast match, there was nothing on the track that suggested you were going to put in an 11-goal loss. Was there anything different this week on the track?
Oh, it's such an interesting... Yeah, it's an interesting question. I personally, like, I'm always looking for little things that, you know, the group might be struggling with throughout the week or in preparation, and there was nothing that showed signs against the Gold Coast, and we actually even started well in that game. So, yeah, for us to go down the way that we did, I guess that's footy these days. I mean, you see the Giants the other night against the Doggies, they had one of those days, and the Gold Coast the week before they played us as well had one of those days. So I feel like it's footy these days. Momentum swings are a big thing, and if you're off your game a tiny little bit, the opposition will take a mile. So, yeah, it's footy these days, but for us to be able to bounce back the way that we did, it's very impressive.
Was there a different mindset last night as well? Because it was almost like you thought, let's not stress about things. There were so many times I saw players smiling and laughing, even when, you know, things were pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about, you know, as I said before, not sort of getting caught up in the moment and still enjoying it, because, you know, we are so grateful to play this great game, and us as players, we feel that our, you know, mateship and brotherhood is our one-wood, and to be out there and enjoying footy is what you want to do week in, week out. If you're not enjoying it, you might as well not be doing it. So that's something that we talked about throughout the week. You know, last week we probably weren't enjoying bits and pieces of the game, and this week we really wanted to enjoy it.
I think your club's best is the best in the AFL. So you stack up against Adelaide, Collingwood, even the Gold Coast Suns. When you guys play your best, I feel like you are the best team in the AFL. Is that something that you believe in as a club?
Yeah, I think so, Brownie. I think after, you know, obviously last year and being successful, even the year before, to be able to make the grand final and be a kick away from winning that one as well. Like, we've got the confidence as a group that, you know, our best is capable against anyone in the competition. I feel like if you don't have that confidence, you sort of struggle against the better team. So, yeah, we're very grateful to be in that position, but it does take a lot of work and knowledge of each other, I guess, throughout the week and on game day to know how good you can be.
What can you tell us about, aside from what he did last night, about Henry Smith? Something about Henry we don't know.
Oh, mate, what you see is what you get with Big H. He's a very quiet man, but he just goes about his business incredibly well. Like, I said last night, I reckon it was to Sloaney on radio, like the way that he started the year was injury interrupted, and then, you know, to be able to come in and play the role that he did for us last night, we know that he's going to be a great player for us in the future as well. So exciting times for him ahead.
I'll do the votes now, Josh, and you were unlucky because you had such a sensational game. But look at the...
Make excuses,
No. Honestly, he was stiff because of the game he played. But Logan Morris, sensational. Neil is just as clean as anyone in the AFL. Hugh McCluggage, he's a lock for all Australian, and Will Ashcroft just gets
31 touches, 9 clearances, 6 score involvements. You couldn't get him in.
Well, that's why there's such a great side.
Well, this is the best prize pack in the business. Thanks for coming on a family pass to Gumbaya World, where water slides, thrill rides and wildlife collide. Just don't go near the quackers because they bite. The Hit Fit membership combine bodyweight and boxing for a full body workout, and you'll be best dressed on the golf course thanks to Clutch & Co. and also Brad Starr's clothing brand. Be close, your swing, your style. A box of Chrome Tour golf balls and cap thanks to Callaway. Bar Fridges Australia. Bar Fridges Australia is your one-stop shop. A pair of Aquillas. I think Jakey Melksham's been on about 6 times. He's got 6 pair of Aquillas. Premium quality footwear since 1958. A pair of Rick's eyewear. Eyewear that inspires confidence. Good man, Rixie. TJ loves a free meal, so we'll give you one at Platform 28.
I'm going there today.
In the Docklands. Hopefully you pay, Tony.
No.
Elevate your wardrobe with the latest streetwear style from St. Goliath and 2 pairs of hybrid undies in a mid and a long leg. The Better collection. They've sewn elastic into the groin line, which is an absolute game changer. Trust me, I've got some. And treat yourself to a batch of Daniel's Donuts. Book a delivery online today, and some caps from Travis Matthew.
Oh, seriously, Nathan.
TJ, who are you going with today?
Who am I going with?
Are you taking a voucher from the show or not?
No, I'm not taking a voucher, no.
OK, you said you're not paying, though?
No, I just say that.
Okay,
I just say that.
Just testing you out.
Yeah, no, can I tell you, I pay my way. I pay my way.
Can we say goodbye to Josh?
Sorry, Josh.
Josh is enjoying it.
So, Josh,
he loves it.
I think you're in the Virgin Lounge at the moment. Do you want to turn the phone around and we get a little bit of a look at...
Yeah, I am. I've actually ducked off in the corner over here, so there we go.
Smart.
Oh, it's heating, isn't it?
Lounge.
All right, beauty, mate. All right,
it's packed here, mate.
All right, safe travels, and I guess next time we see you at the G, it'll be in September. All going well for you blokes?
Yeah, fingers crossed. It'll be good. See how we go.
Good on you, Josh. Really appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Josh Dunkley, joining us there.
Good man.
Very good man. They're all good. They're all good. They're all good. Even you, Nathan, in your own special little way. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more on the Sunday Footy Show right after this. Looking forward to Platform 28. Hang on a minute. What's going on there, my little friend?
Well, that's what you had because yours
I didn't.
Your package is open there.
No, my package is not open there, and that is yours.
These are your open sausage rolls and pies. Mine's shut.
The fitness mate.
Yeah. Anyway, I tell you what, you were quick.
Come on, Mr. Fitness.
I tell you what, I wish
trying to save your intro.
Richmond supporters wish you had been that quick on the field. Let's take a look at the next match now. This is the Sydney Swans up against Essendon, and you had a good look at this one, Llordo.
Yeah, Errol Gordon said after the game, it's not one that many will want to watch ever again. No, this game, 9 goals, 14, 68 to 7-12. Bombers put up a bit of a fight, but still it's another loss for the Bombers. McGrath, 26, in a new midfield role. Grundy was the story, and Rory, Errol Gordon also. Their best players stood up.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a welcomed addition since he missed so much with injury, but it was his 100th game, and he will remember that game for being his 100th and performing well and getting a victory too, but he's so important for the way they move the ball. He just adds another dimension. He gets that run and carry on the outside along with Warner and Heaney, so he's pivotal for them to play good, solid footy.
Yeah, once they lost him at the start of the year, he's worth, I don't know, I think they play for. If he doesn't get injured, wouldn't surprise me if they play finals. That's how critical he is.
Do you expect them to play finals next year?
I do, yeah, I do. I think
they need a forward, though, wouldn't they, Llordo?
Yeah,
and maybe a back as well, though? As you analyse what they did against the Bombers, knowing that's not going to influence too many decisions they make off-season.
Yeah, I think so. McCartan's had no luck with his concussion and that as well. So, but you're right on the forward. They've been wanting one for so long. I don't think Logan McDonald is the answer either. Jamara, he's not the answer.
You wouldn't touch him?
No, so it'll just be if they've got anything up their sleeve for next year.
All right, let's take a look at some votes.
There's something I want to show you. We'll look at the votes. Grundy has a 9, Goulden an 8, a 7 for Blakey, and Heaney a 7. But Cleary, young man Cleary, he missed one of the easiest goals we've seen, TJ. So I thought we'd have a bit of fun and look at the worst misses from the goal square over the time, so we can go through a few.
Come on, Brucey.
Brucey.
He's gone mad.
This one was Timmy Membry. The old dribbler into the goal square. This is big Scotty Longstaff.
He's trying Put that out on the
claimed it too.
This one's an all-time favourite. Wow, Jones, back in the day for the Blues. Let's bring up Jonesy's. This is
my favourite.
Yeah.
That's not wow, that's Percy.
Percy Jones, sorry. Bill fell over.
You reckon it's a goal?
Did he headbutt that?
Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't ask.
I didn't ask for it. That's not missed. Doesn't fit in that segment at all.
No, that's not. I did not know that. I knew the rest were, but not that.
Unbelievable. That was goal of the year. That was goal of the year, I know.
Yeah, Melbourne got some joy yesterday against the West Coast Eagles. 10 goals in that third quarter, and they kicked 15 in the second half. Max Gawn was outstanding again. He had 35 touches the last time he played against West Coast. Not as many yesterday, Oliver. Kosei Pickett didn't kick a goal, but he had 26 disposals. Bailey Fritz has found some form as well. And Harvey Langford's probably the best of the young crop coming through. He kicked 3 goals, but you love Max Gawn's game, Damo.
Yeah, I did, Brownie. I even loved it last week. Despite that disastrous last quarter against St Kilda, he was the Melbourne's best player on the ground until Nasai Wanganeen Miller took it apart. And then you always wonder how a club responds after such a harrowing moment, and it was harrowing for the Demons that last quarter against the Saints, and then you needed to not worry after a few moments of this particular game because Max had stood up already and did so for the entirety of it. And, OK, the opponent was a weak one and they've got their major problems and they're now looking to get some assistance from the AFL in a national draft sense, Rory. But this man just continues to stand up despite everyone around him, at times, on and off field, letting him down.
He's done it all year, hasn't he? Whenever they've been challenged as a club. Is he a lock for All-Australian ahead of Grundy, English and Jackson?
Yeah, in my eyes, absolutely he is.
You reckon Max Gawn will be the All-Australian ruckman?
Yeah, I feel he's the lock.
How many games they've won?
Yeah, I do. I still feel he had a really good start to the year. When they lost those they started 0-5, and then I think it was crucial when they started winning. I don't think he's missed a beat when it's all said and done.
Who would Darcy Cameron?
I'd still look. I'm in a minority
Grundy,
of this. I like Jackson. I like Luke Jackson.
Brodie Grundy.
Yeah, but I like Luke Jackson.
English has been underrated too.
All right, let's look at some votes.
The votes. Yeah, sorry. You go, Llordo. The votes from yesterday, Llordo, and Max Gawn was the best man on the ground. Christian Salen, the Fritcher, and Jack Viney.
All right, mixed up which game I did. Sorry, TJ.
No, you do so many, mate. you do
just
so
thinking
much.
about himself.
Yeah, no, wasn't that.
You're just going to argue with everyone on the panel today, are you? We'll take a break. We'll take a break. You're watching the Sunday Footy Show. More in just a moment, including Llordo's deep dive, a Magpie legend.
Aside, unfortunately, from winning a premiership, Nathan Buckley has done it all for the Black and White, the Collingwood Football Club. Let's take a look at his resume and what he's achieved at Collingwood. 280 games. He's a Brownlow medalist, a Norm Smith medalist, won the Rising Star, 7-time All-Australian and a 6-time Collingwood Best and Fairest. And it all started, he came in with a bang as an SANFL champion, really. He was a young player playing for Port Adelaide. He won it all. He won the McGarry medal and he won also the best on ground in this grand final, Rory. So you're across these days.
Yeah, no, they get spoken to me a lot from a lot of people. I love their sample. Back then, they used to get 20, 30. Look at the crowd there. There's probably 40,000 people in that crowd. They loved, and he was part of such a successful club there.
So that was 1992. He won the premiership, the McGarry medal, and that's the Jack Odie medal for best on ground. And then Damo was a big fanfare of when he went
and
to
he did
Brisbane.
all that with the pressure of knowing he was going to enter the AFL the very next year. And as it happened, it was through the Brisbane Bears. And he stood up there. Look, he came second in that year's best and fairest for the Bears in his first year on the list. Magic McLean won that year's best and fairest because the club knew he was leaving. And at one stage it was going to be to North Melbourne. It ended up being Collingwood. But, yeah, coming off the McGarry medal, he had a very, very good year. I think he finished 5th or 6th in this year's Brownlow, even, Llordo, in his first year as a senior player. I mean, he was 20 or 21 at the time he came into the AFL. But, again, soaked up all the pressure, embraced it, and played that year, and so did his teammates. It was a famous team. Michael Voss was part of that team. I played that year knowing that he wasn't going to be there the next year, and I think he handled it quite maturely. He won the Rising Star Award that year and then was off to the Pies.
So he's done a deal. He knew that the club he wanted to go to, Collingwood, when he first went to Brisbane. And this is some info we got. So they struck a deal, Collingwood and Brisbane, unbeknown to the AFL. As Collingwood said, there's 10 players on our list you can't touch, but you can have any of the rest of them. So they ended up taking Troy Lehman and Craig Starcevich, Brisbane did, and then they got pick 12, which was Chris Scott. And here is Nathan Buckley talking about his move to Collingwood.
I've always had that goal to play in Melbourne and to experience that, to play in AFL finals, and I think that's every young footballer's dream. there were facilities put in place that if I wanted to leave that I could, to the club of my choice. At the end of that year, we had a look around, and basically the desire I had to play for Collingwood 12 months earlier still existed, and I was happy to go, and I wanted to come to Melbourne. So the deal was done. I mean, obviously there was animosity from people involved with Brisbane at the time, but I think the people that really know and took heed of the way I went about that year, that they would respect the fact that I took everything into consideration and gave everything I had for that year, and the time was there for me to move on.
So a deal could never be struck like that now, could it?
No, it couldn't be.
No, even...
Well, there's still some bad memories from North Melbourne people who felt that they had him secured in that unofficial way prior to Collingwood swooping. So,
what were they offering?
Well, not as much, and they didn't appeal as much. And the North Melbourne players, as they started then winning their premierships in 96 and 99, were giving it to Nathan for making the decision he made.
The best midfielders always across the competition hit the scoreboard, and they did so from outside 50. Some of the best goals you'll see from Nathan Buckley are from this range. 60-metre bombs like this, they're all drop punts too. He was so powerful, so strong and so damaging with that leg. Look at some of these goals. These are what fans love. This is what crowds love. And this is what players love. These are sort of ones that lift your team, and he did it time and time again from the midfield.
It's an amazing highlight reel, isn't it? It's as good as anyone's in the modern era, and maybe full stop in the whole era.
And we occasionally look at Jason Horne-Francis and we go, oh, there's a little bit of Nathan Buckley there when he tucks it under his arm and he runs. But those days at Victoria Park, and the strength and the power and the class, we see a lot of players who don't use the ball that well in the modern game.
Post height back then.
He's a rare player, and he was a winner. One of the he just hated being beaten. From the day he was born, he was driven to be the best, and that's what he was, Brownie.
Yeah, he was, and they played in 2 grand finals back-to-back in the early 2000s. In 2002, Norm Smith medal performance against the Brisbane Lions in a loss. They lost by 9 points, 32 disposals, 8 clearances, 4 tackles and a goal. He did his job, as we see the highlights from this day. And the big talking point of this day was when he received his Norm Smith medal and he took it off straight away, which a few people said was disrespectful to the medal, but he was just so flat that they'd lost the game that he didn't feel like he deserved it.
Yeah, he did, Brownie, and they weren't meant to go near the Lions in this particular game. This was the one that Ackermanis kicked the goal in late, and they got belted by the Lions the following year in 03, but this was the year that they were no chance at all, really, on paper and by way of expectation, and he stood up in that biggest moment.
But you can see that he did that because he was so hell-bent on winning a premiership. He was such a team player and would have done anything to win a grand final. Yeah,
and it was more out of respect for his teammates, wasn't it? Yeah. The fact that, you know, we haven't achieved what we set out to do as a group, and I'm not going to stand here as an individual and take the accolades. So, didn't get a premiership medal, got a Norm Smith medal, and then got a Brownlow medal, of course, adding to it in 2003. He shared it with Adam Goods and Mark Rasciuto, as you can see there. And I'll give you an idea of the calibre of the field that year. They won by a vote from Shane Crawford, Ben Cousins and Gavin Wanganeen. Quite extraordinary, and it did cap off a remarkable season for him, an average of 27 possessions, and did get at least 1 goal a game. So fitting that he should actually end his career with the Brownlow.
And then went on to coach the Collingwood Football Club. So a tough transition after Mick Malthouse. It wasn't easy for him. The handover didn't go as well as they would have hoped. But then Nathan Buckley, who actually coached his club to 12 finals, Nathan Buckley, which is a great effort, and was a kick away from being a premiership coach. So this is after that prelim, that famous prelim, Damo, and then just so close for Nathan Buckley.
It was. And even the first year, Llordo, they still made a preliminary final coming off the consecutive grand final appearances. That's the one you're referring to. And with 105 seconds of the season remaining, they were a goal up before Dom Sheed did what he did to him and obviously the Collingwood Footy Club and put himself and the Eagles into their own history. But it was so close, wasn't it, for him?
Yeah, champion person as well, Nathan Buckley, and he was good enough to send us this message yesterday.
G'day, Lloydie. Humbled and honoured to be inducted into your top 30. I had a look at our careers and they overlapped for 21 games in our time, and Essendon won 13 of those and Collingwood won 8. Over those games, I can't remember you ever leaving the forward 50, and I can't remember ever going back in the defensive 50 either. So there's a very real chance that we never crossed paths on the field. But I'm glad that you were able to see what I was doing from your perspective. Thanks very much, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, very good. He's an absolute pro. absolute pro. He's done the numbers, done the stats, and thanks, Nathan.
And did the workout before.
Still is a pro bowler.
How'd the guns look?
A little T-shirt.
Yeah, a little T-shirt. All right, but a very big career. All right, good work, Llordo. Can't wait until next week. Can't wait until we come back after the break. Plenty of footy to talk about. And also...
Media-ocre returns.
Media-ocre only moments away. First up, though, let's reflect on the train wreck that was Richmond's outing yesterday, Rory.
Yeah, Gold Coast were very, very classy. It was a clinical performance. Ben King kicked 4 goals. Humphrey was unbelievable with 3, but it's their midfield that is just exceptional still. Noah Anderson, Matt Rowell could very well both finish in the top 5 for the Brownlow. John Noble off the half-back, and I thought Mac Andrew was extraordinary too. Down back, took a lot of intercept marks, so those boys featured in my votes, but it's the 2 midfielders that I love at the moment under Big Witsy.
Are they better players than you realised going into 2025, those two main men?
They've had more consistent years than I thought they would have, yeah. They're dominating at the moment.
All right, well, as we said, Nathan's back after a week off, and no Nathan, no Media-ocre. No Media-ocre, no Sunday Footy Show. And reputations are about to be shredded.
It's been 21 rounds of Gerard and Gary, but no one, it seems, has bothered to tell Ben Dixon.
Joey, well done. Tomorrow night, all kick off, though. AFL 360 with Gerard and Robbo from 6:30.
Making a clean exit isn't easy, but it's proving especially difficult for Tom Morris.
You have been snooping around, haven't you? All right, then, Tom Morris joining us here. It is promising to be a pretty good game, this one. 55,000 the crowd estimates. I'll see you a little later on in sport. And that was the worst exit I think you've done yet, Tom.
Fox Footy's no nickname policy is tripping everyone up.
Time now to get across to Alistair Lynch, who's with Will Ashcroft. Thanks, Bill. And Ben, Will?
Then again, it's clearly forced some commentators to sharpen up.
These two are. So Barras has been able... Is it Barras or Barras? I don't know. Barras has kept Caddy, Lynch. They can defend. It's what did you just... Barras's intercept marking, particularly for Barras. He at the Barras. Barras. I'm going to have to write... I can't even write it phonetically. Particularly for Barras. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Staying at Fox Footy, and the boys got some good laughs from their co-hosts' mispronunciations.
Without Toby Green now and a couple of other injuries, that throws a different mechanics at that too.
Machinations.
Yeah. Mechanics.
It's a tough word to get out.
I know.
And of course, if we get a player like Jack Silvagni in, well, the rising tide lifts all boats, rather.
That's the one, mate. Yeah, I think...
Not the worst idea to do your research on players early. Otherwise, this can happen.
What does it mean to be one club player? You know, it's pretty rare in this climate, but to achieve that milestone.
Oh, I've played for 3 clubs now, so...
Who said rugby league hasn't taken off in Melbourne? And finally, Caroline Wilson clearly likes to throw to a grab with good manners.
Can we have a listen to that press conference again? Can we have a listen to what James Hird said? Can we have a listen to the Gold Coast coach? Can we have a quick listen to the Brownlow medalist? Can we have a listen to some of the other fallout too, Kane?
But sometimes manners don't always get us what we want.
Can we have a quick listen to the St Kilda CEO? He did a podcast with some students last Monday. We'll get to that a bit later. Now, my favourite tackle of all time will have to be Fraser Brown on Dean Wallace in the 1999 preliminary final. Can we have a very quick look at that one, please, before I go to you boys? No, not sure that we can. All right.
He's not safe to wear any other boot.
That's what Alistair Clarkson thinks. Can we have a listen to what Alistair Clarkson had to say on the matter last night?
I'm Nathan Brown, and that's Media-ocre. As you say. Just take it for what it is. It's a bit of fun. We don't need to get too upset about it. Because I'm not that upset. I think it's... I'm glass half full most of the time. But sometimes mistakes are made.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, the good times keep coming because the quiz is up next.
It is.
Can we throw to a break, please? Yeah?
Very good.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Time for everybody's favourite segment, Brownie's quiz, brought to you by Sportsbet. $500 on the line, and let's get straight in. This is all about the feuds.
You and me.
The biggest feuds in footy. No, to be you and tennis pronunciations. But let's get into it, Damo.
Well, you were missing out on jobs.
Virginia Evans for me today, Brownie, from Sunbury in Victoria.
Bevan Jones from Morphettville, SA.
Andrew Napralak from Bunbury in Western Australia.
Lindsay Savannah from Cheltenham in Victoria.
Still a tennis one we can't talk about. OK, let's get into it. Question number 1. Name 4 of Damien Barrett's feuds.
Damo's the key.
Well, you always... Well, Bevo's one.
Yep.
You always like the Justin Lepage one. I've patched that up. The Brad Scott one I've patched up.
Yep.
And you think I've got something with Mark Robinson, which I've also patched up. So
Absolutely. So 1 to Damo. So Bevo, Scott × 2, Robinson, Ralph, Warner, Lepage, Clayton, Corns, Hurd and David King.
That list is getting
all of
longer.
them. Which tennis star drove a wedge between 2 former Adelaide stars?
Damo's the key.
Leighton Hewitt.
Leighton Hewitt is it, Damo. And here are a lot of your feuds.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't a great night for you.
Oh. Let's go with Bevo.
Let's go with Bevo. That's brave.
It is brave.
Got it 3.
-1. Bad luck.
Could have been worse.
Who was the feud? Who were the players?
Tyson Edwards and Andrew McLeod.
Thank you.
Yeah. OK. Which former Essendon gun did someone on this panel label vanilla?
It was a real deal! Well, I was misquoted. You think the answer is Tim Watson.
Well, correct. I'll give you one. Let's see if you were misquoted.
Just own it.
How would you describe that man on that card?
Vanilla?
How could you be misquoted?
AI.
Right.
Yes.
Famous Faces question again. Question number 4. Who belted Stephen May outside Entrecott?
It was a real deal!
Jake Melksham.
Llordo
Jake
doesn't
Melksham
forget.
did. Famous Faces.
Robbo.
Robbo. +3 for Robbo. That's a good start.
Jeez.
Which 2 former coaches clashed in 2001 on...
Llordo doesn't forget. Oh, 01.
It was a real deal! Kevin Sheedy and Robert Walls.
That is correct, Tony.
On Talking Footy.
So he's there.
Isn't it funny, the 2 journos are actually leading the pack on feuds.
Who did Stevie J continually punch on with?
Llordo doesn't forget.
Stevie Baker is right. You get some points back here, Llordo.
-2 or 3.
Oh, Damo.
I'll go Kingy.
Kingy, David King. You can steal a point off somebody.
TJ?
Yeah, I'm honoured.
All right. Which former
Thanks,
premiership
Tony.
coach said this? Bottom line is, this is the 2nd club in 4 years that has turfed in mid-season. You only do that...
Damo's the key.
Lee Matthews.
Lee Matthews on Jason Ackermanis. That is correct.
Wow.
Malcolm Blight said, I couldn't give a rat's toss bag.
Real deal!
Incorrect. -1.
Damo's the key.
Rod Butters.
Rod Butters and a Famous Faces last
Let's go.
one,
Chris,
Damo.
Chris got in the middle.
Chris Scott in the middle. You get the run on, Damo.
Okay.
So here's a few questions. Your time starts now. How many weeks did Barry Hall get for hitting Brent Staker?
8.
Incorrect. 7. How many weeks did Alistair Lynch get in the 2004 Grand Final?
6.
Incorrect. 10. Stephen Baker got 9 weeks for multiple incidents on who?
Stevie Johnson.
That's right. Andrew Gaff got 8 weeks for who?
Brayshaw.
That's right. Dean Solomon got 8 weeks for his bump on...
Lingy.
Cameron Ling. Correct.
Sorry, Nathan, do you not lose points when
Yes, you do.
Well, he didn't...
If you're playing at home, Kane had the mute, Scotty Clayton, Lepper had the risk. Your man Ralphie had the -3 and the other Scott...
Why was Kane the mute?
Sorry, but you've got to deduct 3 points at least from Damo.
As you can see, I don't do the scoreboard, Tony. I read the questions. That would be a matter for Luca. Upstairs.
Right. I got 3, 4 or 5 right.
No, you got marks for
started
ones
on
that are
3.
right. You got ones, but they didn't deduct the ones you got wrong.
Which 2 clubs have played in the most grand finals against each other?
Carlton Collingwood.
Incorrect. -1.
It was a real deal!
Incorrect.
Oh, I was going to say, I'll say Collingwood.
Damo's the key.
Incorrect. -1.
Melbourne Collingwood.
Melbourne Collingwood is right, Damien.
We're going to have to adjust the score.
Who would you associate with all duck and no dinner?
Llordo doesn't forget.
Ed Langdon is correct. All right. This is the Who Am I. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. 6, TJ has tailed off at 3, -1, Rory.
He's
and
still
Lord.
lying about the score.
Question. For 5 points, I'm a premiership player. I am currently at my 2nd club for 4 points. I have caused a stir in the last 2 final series for off-field incidents.
Llordo doesn't forget.
Jack Ginnivan is right, Llordo. That was a 3. Do you get there? No, you don't. Damien, who did you win the 500 for?
I won for Virginia.
I might have won. Yeah.
No, but...
No, you didn't.
Sorry, but...
now I'm on his side.
Oh, no. We can't take it away from Virginia Evans of Sunbury in Victoria, Brad.
Virginia, $500 coming your way thanks to Sportsbet. If you want to join in the fun, www.brownies quiz.
I'm on his side.
Yeah, it's time to look back in primetime takeaways at Thursday night and Friday night footy. And Marcus Bontempelli started in round 7 this year, and he's averaging 26 disposals, 6 clearances in 2025. So he has not missed the beat, and he's playing as well as he ever has in his AFL career. I want to ask the panel, is he the best player in the competition as we sit here right now?
In my view?
On current form, yes.
Eric Hipwood. No, I would say, for mine, Sam Darcy.
Yeah. Now, Marcus Bontempelli for me, he's just a beast.
Yeah, most consistent over a long period of time, and Naz would be close up there for this short period.
Yeah, for me, Llordo, it has been away since 2019, as far back as I feel, and I just think there's been no person to challenge him in that same time frame.
Yeah, they keep popping up, but he just keeps giving you reminders that he is the best and the most consistent. The other game, Adelaide and the Hawthorn Football Club. Adelaide's run. So what do they lack? Where do they sit for the panel? Because they're on the form ladder. There is no one going better in terms of this last 10 weeks. So they are 9 wins and 1 loss in the last 10 weeks. It's just amazing form. So I'm just interested to see if they lack anything and where they sit for you guys.
I think they lack a little bit through the midfield. I think they're 1 star short in the midfield. When you look at Collingwood, when you look at the Brisbane Lions, maybe that doesn't matter when they play such a defensive, team-orientated game the way they do. But I think they're 1 mid short.
Yeah, and that would be Nazai Wanganeen Miller, and if they could nail him, the next 5 years look amazing. I think Brisbane is still ahead, just from consistency, I think, and they've just done it before, and they've stood up in finals before.
Yeah, Brisbane's slightly, Llordo, but from what they've done on that graphic, yeah, absolutely up to their eyeballs with a chance to win the flag.
I think they're the all-round package. Yeah. I think the greatest thing they've got in their favour at the moment is this belief.
So you mentioned Wanganeen Miller. So do you feel they're like Brownie, a midfielder short to win this year's premiership?
No, they're not a midfielder short. I still think they can snag one. It will be tough, just because I think Brisbane are so good and Collingwood are so good on the G. But they've got the most well-rounded package up there with Brisbane. And speaking of their players, in wrapping up, they have a belief and a confidence. So they believe they're good enough, which is the most powerful thing in footy.
Let's have a look at the Lou Richards medal. And Nick Dacos has been on the top for a long, long time. He's a couple of votes or a couple of games clear at the moment. Nazai Wanganeen Miller plays today. Anderson obviously got maximum. Caleb Sarong plays, and Bailey Smith plays as well down there on 72. But at the moment, it is Nick Dacos's, and it is the best prize pack in the business. So Lexus of Blackburn, very, very good to our program. Very, very good to the Channel 9 network. And the winner of this is a $55,000 LBX 2-wheel drive. It is unbelievable. All on road costs, 12 months registration. They don't just do our program. Lexus Blackburn also, they do Eddie's program on a Monday or Tuesday night when he's on there. So Lexus, thank you very much.
You're a big viewer of Footy Classified, eh?
Yeah, I always get... on socials, I get to watch it. Yeah.
Right, OK. We'll take a break here on the Sunday Footy Show. Still plenty to come, including the most amazing handball you'd want to see. We know because we did it before the show. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. It's Sunday agenda time. There is a fascinating fight over the services of Jack Silvagni. It's arguably the most famous name attached to the Carlton Football Club, and Collingwood, their most hated rival, wants him. Craig McRae, coach of Collingwood, spoke, as did Michael Voss, his current coach at Carlton.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I'm confident to say that we'll keep exploring what the best version of us looks like, and when there's free agents available, yeah, we'll keep exploring those things.
Do you think you're a reasonable chance to get him at the end of the year?
Justin Lepich and Charlie Gardner do those things. I just met with a young man and worked out we had a first date and see if we liked each other.
I guess where I sit very much is respecting the privacy of the player. I guess it's not for me to announce something like that on behalf of someone, because they're the ones that have got to walk back into the locker room. So I can't speak to how other coaches will go about that. No, I was surprised, but I mean, obviously I'd already spoken to Jack anyway about what was happening. So, but you know, it's unusual for a coach to to announce something like that. And like I said, regardless of what Craig did, it's not something we would do, and we'll respect the privacy of the player and we move on.
Rory, I love the openness of Craig McRae in this whole saga, and he's been really open about it. Equally, I can hear and feel for what Michael Voss is going through. You, as the most recently retired player, and being in these situations yourself, having had offers to go elsewhere and choosing to stay, just how do you see it?
I see the landscape changing. I think we saw the Sammy Mitchell stuff with Oscar Allen at the start of the year work out quite similar. I'm with you. I love the open and honesty about it all. As a player, if I was coming out of contract and I wanted to move, I was always the one that would have been, I'll get on the front foot. If I was Tom De Koning, I'd come out and say I'm leaving at the end of the year.
You would have?
Yep, absolutely. And Danger, I'll use Danger as the example. If Danger had done that at the start of the year, we all knew it was sort of going to happen anyway. But if he came out and said, look, I'm committed for this whole year, TJ, I'm going to give you everything, but then I'm going home to Moggs afterwards because that's where my family is and that's where I want to start a family.
Your club and Tex Walker in particular, they cracked the Sads and they'd Sook and all those things. So why would you want to do that if you lose teammates and things like that with still so many games to play?
Because I think the landscape's changing now. I think we're ready for that sort of open and that honest approach that players can have. I reckon there'd be a week or two where the noise would
even
kick
though
up
Oscar
and
Allen, Rory, was nearly crying. He was crying.
Yeah, and that's different. Like a captain of the footy club, you're going to have to be careful. But I reckon someone like Jack Silvagni, I'd be more than happy if he came out and said, yeah, I'm leaving, but I'll play the rest of the year if you want me, and I'll play my best for your footy club.
Wasn't all your direct messages, wasn't that all your negotiations through Instagram, direct messages?
Yeah, and this is where it falls back on the player. If Jack wants to keep that discreet or Oscar wants to keep it discreet, I think you've got to be the one telling these coaches or the people you meet, and you've got to be really firm with them and go, don't you let this come out or I'm not coming.
Do we know if Jack Silvagni was aware that Craig McRae was going to do that?
Oh, I haven't followed up that aspect of it. Yeah, I don't know. But I do, though, agree with Rory. I do like how open he was. You mentioned Oscar Allen, Llordo. It does appear he's out the door to Brisbane Lions. And they're in a world of hurt, his club at the moment, the West Coast Eagles. And they, during the week, through their CEO, Don Pike, have mooted the possibility and the strong likelihood of asking for compensation. It comes a week after Harley Reid, who is their greatest asset, was forced off the ground in the most recent derby. Didn't play yesterday in that horrendous loss to the Melbourne Footy Club and out for the remainder of the year. They will be seeking compensation. I personally loathe this, where self-inflicted damage to clubs, and I put North Melbourne in that category too, saw them finish at the bottom of the ladder. They got some compensation recently by way of having to trade picks that were given to them at the end of a first round, TJ. I'd imagine that's the sort of scenario that could happen to them. North also got the high-end compensation for loss of Ben Mackay, and that will almost certainly happen with the loss for the Eagles of Oscar Allen as part of the overall considerations.
I'm with you. Why should you be compensated for poor planning? I mean, if you look at a club like Adelaide, for example, that was down and out seemingly, if you look at ladder positions over the previous years, well, look at where they are now. If you look at the Brisbane Lions, like Llordo pointed out off air, that when Chris Fagan got there, they were down and out. You look at Hawthorn. All these clubs have got back up there through good governance.
Yep.
And I'm talking governance in the sense of, planning and also recruiting. No, I'm sorry.
TJ, I've just been told we are out of time, so back to your good self.
Oh, OK. Sorry, Damo. All right, we'll take a break then. When we come back, we'll preview the remaining matches for this round of football.
Make the most of the cooler months with a winter retreat at Langham Hotels and Resorts. In Melbourne, Sydney or the Gold Coast, enjoy a room upgrade, buffet breakfast for two, bottle of sparkling and late checkout. The Langham Melbourne, a proud supporter of the Sunday Footy Show.
Three matches to complete this round of footy. Nath, what's the first one?
I think the Saints riding high. They'll beat the Kangaroos in this one.
All right, Jess Webster is standing by with a special guest for us. Jess, before we actually get to you and the guests, congratulations, and I say this in all sincerity, and it's no patronising, your call on Triple M last Sunday of the miracle at Marvel was outstanding. If anyone hasn't seen it, check it out on Instagram or any of the other platforms. It really was sensational stuff. So, well done, Jess. Take it away.
Thanks so much, TJ. I'm here with Dan Butler outside Marvel Stadium, of course, the Saints taking on the Roos this afternoon. Dan, I'm not sure about your heart rate, but mine still hasn't come down from last week, and the boys must still be on a high.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was one of the better wins I've ever seen. So, yeah, to come back from that far down was incredible. And Yeah, to be honest, I was a bit nervous, very nervous at three-quarter time, so to come back from that was pretty special.
And it hadn't been a great few weeks leading up. The losses were starting to mount up. You were 46 points down at three-quarter time. I mean, can you understate the importance of a performance like that in terms of building the culture at this footy club?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we had a few tough weeks before that, and it's been a tough season, to be honest. So to get a win like that, bring some momentum into the last 3 games, bring some finally that winning feeling for our fans is really special. And as a club this week it was a really good week because it's obviously been tough, and we've got to enjoy stuff like that.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the week because Nasiah has been the talk of the town, and I want to know how you've been treating him on the training track. Has he been getting the rockstar treatment?
Yeah, he has. He's pretty much anything he says at the moment goes, so he can do what he wants at the moment. He's going that well, but he's a great young kid, and the way he plays is pretty amazing. So for him to have those last 2 goals was very special.
And let's see what he can do this afternoon at Marvel. I'll throw back to the boys on the panel.
Hey, I just wanted to ask Dan a question. Dan, I had the pleasure of doing a story with your mum and dad some years ago, and it blew me away the fact that they were quite open with the fact they knew nothing about football. They'd watch you each week, but they didn't have a clue what was going on. Have they brushed up on their rules since then, have they?
Hey, TJ, I do remember you doing that story, that they spoke very highly of you, so thanks for that. But they're still struggling a little bit, I think, especially Dad. He's, especially with my injury a few weeks ago, he wasn't watching after that, I can say that. So, they've still got a bit to learn, but slowly getting there.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, Dan, the vision of Nasiah on Ross's shoulders, can you take us through how it got there? I know he's kicked the winning goals and everyone's up and about, but was this just a St Kilda function, and were you there?
Yeah, we actually had it booked in about a month before. I don't know how many people were going to rock up at three-quarter time, but after the final sign, most of the club got there. So, yeah, it was one of those things. We probably don't want that kind of vision getting out, but if it does get out, it is kind of good to see the human side. And if we can't celebrate, a historic win like that, what are we going to celebrate? So, I think it does show another side to Ross that he, he's pretty dry at times, but he's at the right time. He's able to have a beer with the players and a good laugh as well. So yeah, it was a really good night, and yeah, I was there.
Cool. Wouldn't be a party if Dan wasn't there, I can tell you. Hey Dan, great to see you, and look forward to getting back on the track at some point. Say good day to your mum and dad for us, and Jess, thank you for your time as always.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, TJ.
All right, thank you.
The game today, Geelong v Port Adelaide, is played at 3:15 at GMHBA. Can you afford again? I thought last week against North Melbourne, where he kicked his 11, they were toying a little bit
Jeremy Cameron
with getting the ball to Jeremy Cameron. I just wonder, with the side Port Adelaide serving up now with season over, whether again they can try and help Jeremy. He's on 69 goals, get to that 100.
Yeah, don't toy with it early because Port play quite well down there, and their midfield will get on top early. Port, they'll come out firing, so don't play with it early. But then if the game opens up, certainly look for him late.
They're exposed down back, aren't they? I mean, Radical's not there obviously, but O'Leary is a bit underdone, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit sore. So there's a few walking wounded a little bit, Port, but they're getting through the season. They'll give it a crack because they want to finish this year well for Ken.
Oh, what's your tip then for this match?
Geelong will belt them down there, you think?
Yeah, Geelong are going along a bit under the radar at the moment. No one's talking about them. They'll finish strong. The other game is Carlton versus Freo over West. Freo, one of the most informed sides in the competition at the moment, so I'll back Freo every day of the week here.
Oh, absolutely. They're just roaring into the final series now, Fremantle, which is a good position to be in. They're currently 7th, so can they push their way up to get a 5th or 6th to get a home final in Perth?
Does anyone think Carlton can win?
No, I think Freo will win. Is there, when you ask a question to somebody, like I didn't have one for Dan Butler, but is there any time you could ask a question that doesn't come back to you?
No.
I just had to get one last jab.
Got it.
Paulie liked it.
You started out not well until you finished not well.
Hang on. What's your manners? What's your manners? All righty. Now, that leads us into Animal Fact with Damien Barrett.
High point of the show, TG, as you know. Exclusive footage we've got today outside the MCG last night after the Brisbane Lions Collingwood game. Now, the cat you're about to see, it's representative of the Collingwood supporters who are just not sure where they're at the moment because across the way in the other car As Lions supporters, have a look at how happy they are right now. We've got you covered. We're going to go right down Brunton Avenue and then right into Punt Road and do a few chap laps at the end of the night, TJ. Chap laps.
That's real, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I
Not your,
last night. That's
not
scary.
your best, Damo.
It's last night at Brunton Avenue.
Not your best.
What are you just sitting here critiquing everyone in this segment, are you?
It's good to have you back on the show, Brownie. Thanks for turning up.
It was so nice and harmonious last week. How do you know what's AO and what's not? Because I was going to send you one this morning, all these kangaroos on a trampoline.
I'll tell you what was AI. Those cats doing the diving into the swimming pool, you thought they were real. That was AI, OK?
Yeah, righto, Damo.
Do you know what a lion's intimidated by?
What?
The honey badger.
Is it?
I did some research on, and it was a bit of a theme for me coaching yesterday.
Well, you'd know with your life and death running with the lion in South Africa.
The lion come off second best with me that day.
you and your two big kahunas. All righty, we're going to take a break. I tell you what, the handball, I promise you, you do not want to miss this, especially Luke Beveridge. Welcome back to the Sunday Footy Show. Great to have you.
Come on, what's his crap? What are you doing?
What's this? What?
He's had Damien Monkhorst.
Which era? No.
Well, the one he played in.
Collingwood Football Club asked whether we could just make mention of the fact that they've got their retro gear, and you can, there it is, shop.collingwoodfc.com.au, and you can go in there and...
Another urn for you?
I beg your pardon?
Is this another urn for you?
You know, Nathan, what you need to realise in life is that not everything is a contra deal.
Wasn't there another urn somewhere along the line?
Called affiliative marketing.
Well, as you would have seen in what caught my eye, you were shameless. Really? All we'll say is you felt it.
That was good,
It was a good old table slapper.
Well, given what we did see and what caught my eye, Matthew, I don't know whether you've got a lot of legs to stand on. Right, OK, we're going to introduce our next two guests.
We are. Jai Cully from the Melbourne Football Club. Well done yesterday, Jai. Outstanding performance. And Matt Kennedy, is he the recruit of the season, Damo? What a season he's having. But Jai, got released from West Coast or cut from West Coast, and now you find yourself at Melbourne. Talk us through how that came about.
Yeah, so I got the arse last year, and then I ended up signing up at Casey VFL at the start of the year, and then luckily enough got an opportunity with an open list spot at the start of the year, and then sort of made my debut this week, and sort of find my craft at the moment.
Long time between wins, 1,112 days between your last win and this win.
Yeah, well, that was my first win on the weekend.
Was it?
Yeah, first AFL win. So 3 years over there and didn't win one.
And your opportunity came from Melbourne with Andy Monty's Wakefield going down as well, and obviously the adversity you've been through yourself just to toil and get on a list. I'd imagine as you are celebrating your first game here, first win here for Melbourne, that feelings will go for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit bittersweet, I guess, but sort of at the end of the day, that's how the system works, I guess. But yeah.
And you're a D's fan as a kid as well?
Yeah, die hard, eh?
There you are.
But it wouldn't melt in his mouth back then. That's a nice one.
You like the part down the middle, don't you?
And Matty Kennedy's here, as Llordo said, the recruit of the year, 20-plus goals, very good Thursday night. Defensively, I think the Bulldogs and your coaching staff had to be happy with the game.
Yeah, I think offensively we're doing really well. We just had to tighten up a few things with our defence, so it was really pleasing to be able to, stop GWS, who I think are a very good attacking team in themselves. So, there's still a fair bit to play out with the rest of the season, but no, it's going to be an exciting finish.
You found your feet nicely, a bit of a midfield forward role this year. You're in ripping form.
Yeah, no, I've enjoyed it. It's probably a bit more midfield than I was the previous few years. So I definitely think I play my best footy around the ball. So I'm enjoying that.
Would you say you were cut by Carlton? I would ask you the question. So were you not given a contract, or you were given a better one with the Bulldogs?
No, I was still contracted. I had an exit interview with Vossi and Nick, the list manager, and it was really good conversations and really honest, where they sort of seen me in the side and moving forward, and the midfield time it was probably not going to be there. So at the end of the day, it was sort of me and my manager thought what was going to be best for me in my career, and that was to probably explore my options elsewhere. And look, to be honest, there wasn't many clubs putting their hand up, so I'm very grateful that the Dogs approached us, and I'm very happy.
It's been a big upgrade though, hasn't it? You could be playing this afternoon under pressure.
It's worked out well for both of you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's funny how footy can work out sometimes, and sometimes the best thing is a fresh start, and
And as you approach these past next three games to come at the Bulldogs, how do you discuss it as a playing group with your situation, needing to obviously have teams above you lose?
Yeah, it's obviously, hopefully we can win and we don't have to worry about them losing. But yeah, a few things need to sort of go right for us to make finals. But and as players, you sort of know that every game's so important, but it's about trying to stay present as much as possible. And I think Bevo and the coaches are doing a really good job at that. We've obviously got Melbourne, who had a great win on the weekend. So that's our next challenge right now and what's ahead of us. And that's where all our focus and energy will go to.
So what's the aim for you blokes, Jai? Is it to make it as difficult for the Western Bulldogs of this world? And you got Collingwood in the last round, so are you just going to make sure that you're throwing a spanner in the works?
Yeah, we're trying to set ourselves up for next year. So yeah, obviously we can't make finals, but we've got 3 games to prove ourselves, and yeah, looking forward to this week.
79 is the score to beat. Brett Delidio's on top of the moment to win the best prize pack in the business. And Tempur mattresses, I tell you what, we've got a lot at my place. We are sleeping soundly. This is the best mattress in the world.
You don't
goes into 0G. That's a restaurant's takeoff. Jace Nicholas and the team, they've got a great team out there. Family-orientated business. This is brilliant. This is the best mattress in the business, the Tempur. It is like sleeping on a cloud. You just go to sleep straight away,
yeah,
Tony.
Right, just get on with it.
And then you sleep well all day and all night, and then you play golf well all day with the Callaway Elites and the custom fitting out at Callaway HQ. They look absolutely fantastic. TJ, I know you can't play golf, but these two can.
I'd like to do something with the club.
$15,000 is the total prize pack. Thank you to Tempur and also
he sells
Callaway.
it well, doesn't he, TJ?
Yeah.
Don't think he's...
Yeah, well, when you've got 4 at home that you haven't paid for, of course you're going to give them a bit of love.
Have you got one?
Do you reckon
No,
more?
I haven't yet, no.
Do you reckon more Damien Monkhurst? You said. I'm thinking more Mick Gafer.
Or David Cloak.
Which David Cloak?
Father?
Yeah, I know.
Get the
era
tape,
of David.
Come on, you two. Let's get these boys handball.
Hey, before we do that, we had so much fun last week. But you were in danger mode last week. Let's just recap what happened here. Watch this. Watch Rory there, just closest to the golf clubs, and it ricochets off Damo. Bang! Actually, it didn't go anywhere near you, you big sook.
That's right. It did hit me in the knee, so that was why I bought in the extra protection. Our friends at Better Undies have given us some protection. Look at that. Oh, a little poke there too. But I'm wearing my protection today.
I told you we shouldn't have done that.
All right, who wants to go first? Move the target.
5. 7.
Get closer, Damo.
Yeah, I know.
7.
19.
Come on, Jai.
7.
26.
Oh.
7.
And 33.
Consistent.
Matty Kennedy.
Right.
Matt Kennedy.
Oh, 7.
7.
Generous. 7.
14.
5.
19.
Here we go.
7.
26.
Oh,
there we go. Matty Kennedy.
Righto, he's thrown down the gauntlet, Jai.
Both got a strong head of hair, these two.
Good hair.
36
Good
to
hair.
33.
5.
That's a fiver.
38.
7.
45.
5.
Ooh, generous
50.
as well, I reckon.
7. 57.
5.
And 5 to finish off with 62.
Should have this in the bag.
Little short jabber.
Damo? Was that a
51.
I reckon that was
41. That was a 5.
That was a
Brownie's done 5.
5.
Oh, was that a bullseye,
46.
Nath?
Oh, that's a two.
Barely got
What's
to
happening?
Welcome to
Well,
my
you're in
world,
strike
Matt.
here. You got one more.
What happened there? There's the pressure one.
What is happening?
Pressure's got to me.
So when you had the exit meeting, when you had the exit meeting at Carlton, did they mention the handballing at all?
That's not ideal. Show that one, please.
I was like Neo from Matrix at that one.
So what's the final score?
I've got no idea.
50.
Matty Kennedy didn't win.
62 to 50. So Jai 62, surprisingly, and Matt, mate? Can you just take us through it?
Let it go.
Mate, there was one that barely got the distance, and I thought I'll try and punch him in a bit harder, and it's barely slid off the ring. I'll blame Naz. It's not my fault.
All right. righty. Well, it's going to be a really long week at the club for you, my friend. All right, that wraps it up for this edition of the Sunday Footy Show. It has been good to have you back.
It has been. Wherever you may be, may the sun shine on you today. Have a great day, everyone.
Buy the Collingwood top. Look like me.